Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT, bringing you another Madden 19 gameplay tip video, whatever you want to call it. I try to mix the two sometimes, so in this video I'm going to do that. Although realistically, a lot of this gameplay that I'm about to show you is really like too short of clips that they could have ever really made full gameplay footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put them together and show you guys a pretty routine set of things that I do pretty much every game that I play, either to give myself an advantage or just essentially win the game. I mean, there is a formula to winning games in Madden 19, or really any Madden. This doesn't have to be Madden 19. It's a pretty consistent formula. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Now, on defense here, this is the first series I'm on defense. I pretty much hit my opponent with mid-blitz to start just about every game because a lot of people don't know what to do with it. But he did. He hit me with a slant, which beats mid-blitz. So what do? I go straight to a zone cover 2 with the exact same look, and look what happens. That's how easy defense can be. It's all about confusing your opponent and uniforming your plays. That's the advantage you want, is them never knowing what you're doing. And the goal on offense is to figure out what they're doing as fast as possible.
He could go all the way.
Now that was my first play. I had no idea what he was doing on defense, but I ran one of my safest plays and was lucky enough to score a touchdown.
See ya.
But the formula is the same. On the offensive side, I ran a pretty safe run play. Even if I didn't score that touchdown, I probably got like 5 to 10 yards, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A big play, and then I would have got to see exactly what they were doing on defense. So, new game, new opponent, first play on offense. I'm going to run the exact same toss play. He stops it, but I win in the end. Because I get to see his defense, and that's all that really matters. So the very next play, I'm going to use my cover 3 beater, and here we go.
Break yourself, fool!
He could go all the way.
And the fact that he had success on the first play works in my favor, because it pretty much guarantees that he's going to run the exact same defense the next time.
Gotcha, bitch!
Yes! Slip and slide records. Finna take it to the highs.
So another part of this formula is really knowledge of the game. Like, what beats this new PA post shot? I'm going to run a cover 2 with a mid-third, and that's one of the best defenses for it. Now, as far as the knowledge of the game, if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't really know the game that well. Well, my channel. I mean, if you watch my channel, you'll probably pick these things up along the way. If I just taught you something new, that's exactly what this channel is all about. If you want to fast track it even more, you can get my ebooks or join my Patreon or get as much knowledge as you can from channels like mine and other channels. But as far as the game goes, you really have to have knowledge of what beats what coverage, what stops what plays. That's probably one of the most important things, aside from, like I said, knowing how to start the game. So I haven't really mentioned yet what the little counter at the bottom is. If you think that's tips that I'm dropping, it's not. It's the amount of plays that have taken place in this game so far. This is play number 6. You can tell he's already frustrated because he's running the same plays over and over, which, funny enough, is a way to beat your opponent quickly and get him to quit, is by frustrating him.
Yes! Slip and slide records. Finna take it to the highs. Just get on up and get down.
Oh man, 21-0 in 6 plays.
It's gonna be some kind of a record!
So, like I said, frustrating your opponent. And he's heading for the door. You can do that in a lot of different ways. One of the easiest ways, honestly, is cheesing them. I mean, making them quit because you're running the same plays over and over and over. Just running plays that they have no answer for. Confusing your opponents. These things all come into play as far as the mental warfare aspect of Madden. I know a lot of people aren't going to like to hear that, but this guy's about to try to do it to me. I know exactly what play he's running. This play's been run to death. I know it beats man. I know it beats cover 2. I try to adjust. I didn't get my adjustment in quick enough, but I know based off the formation, he's going to keep running that. So I got to mid-third this guy in cover 2. He's going to try to cheese me to death with this formation. So why should I feel bad about cheesing him back? I know exactly what he's running. I know the formation. Everybody runs this formation. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to use that against him. We know what stops it. Cover 2 to deep third, and boom. Like I said, knowledge of this game is key. You can get that knowledge here. Obviously, that's what this channel is all about. You can't run these same cheesy new plays on me as you can anywhere else. See, I get the same thing on offense. I get the ball on offense. I do the same thing. I'm going to run my safe play. I'm going to get my safe yards just so I can look at what he's running on defense. I can see he's running cover 2. Now I'm going to pull out my cover 2 beater. It's that simple. It's a very simple formula to start every game. I'm going with the dig and go. If you watch my channel, you see me run this plenty of times. He's going to run it. There's no way he's not going to run it 2 times in a row. People have their favorite defenses. They have their base defenses. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go up top. We're going to bust them.
Break yourself, fool!
He could go all the way.
How easy is this to make people quit and leave?
player.
When you do these steps and they know that you're clearly better than them and that you're diagnosing them, they're going to accuse you of cheating, to be honest with you. As you can see, here's another game. I start off with the toss. Nice, safe, and easy play. All I'm really doing is doing that so I can see what he's running on defense. Then on the very next play, I diagnosed a cover 2, so this is a completely different cover 2 beater. Doesn't necessarily work. I have a step here, but then I get hit. God damn it! Wasn't necessarily my best cover 2 beater. That's a cover 2 beater up the middle, and he had a mid-third anyway, or at least it might have been a man. But either way, I don't always want to use my best plays up front. I know he had a cover 2 going, so you know I don't want to show him my best stuff. Sometimes you got to save your best stuff. Like right here, I'm coming out in what is essentially my favorite play, and guess what happens?
Break yourself, fool.
He could go all the way.
Like I said, this game can be so easy that at some point they're going to accuse you of cheating. Like people you're playing in your league or just randoms, whatever. They'll send you messages saying you're cheating. What it really is you're diagnosing the defense properly and you have a play that beats it. That's really all there is to it. There's no cheating involved. It's not a glitch play. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really to it. You're just playing the game the right way. You know what I mean? If you can diagnose a defense and you have a play in your arsenal for every defense, then this is how easy the game can be. Now, I'll put a shameless plug in. If you guys don't have a play for every defense, by all means, I recommend checking out my ebooks on my website in the description below. If you don't have a play for every defense, you know, like I said, I personally use the Panthers and the Saints the most, but I have quite a few books on there, so it's really up to you if you guys want to check it out and pick out a book. Now, as far as my opponent goes here, this guy here I'm about to show you actually pulls a pretty good you know, example of what I've been talking about against me. It's not necessarily on this play. He's just running the ball a lot. You gotta have that balance, and he's doing a good job of that. But what he does right here is he sets me up. Watch what he does right here with this running back out in the flat. It's a very basic route. A lot of times I'll jump that. But on the next play, it looks like the same formation somewhat. I get too aggressive, and look at that. He cuts right inside, the exact same look, but because he sees me jumping out on that table route, he beats me right back inside. Super smart play by that guy. And he does a really good job of setting me up.
Nope.
So on the other side, I mean, he probably diagnosed too how I was running a lot of man coverages, and he basically used it against me. So here we go. I didn't run the safe play. That's another example of me right there. You know, not. You know, basically not being smart. You know what I mean? I wasn't. You have to play. It's an emotional game, and I think getting beat that way kind of got to me a little bit. So I got to get back into my rhythm. As you can see right there, I'll take my check down. I don't want to force anything deep. As you can see right there, he was playing that last play deep. So you know, there's a certain element of keeping your, I don't want to say your emotions in check, but it really can, you know, get away from you quick if you aren't playing smart. So after a couple of bad plays, I'm right back in my rhythm. He's running cover 3s now, so I'm coming out in some cover 3 beaters. I'm beating him underneath, dinking and dunking. A lot of times you got to manufacture short yardage situations too on offense. You don't necessarily have to hit a home run every time, and he's playing it pretty smart to the point where I know that I don't necessarily have to do that. I can just basically dink and dunk him down the field. Running with your quarterback, ball control offense. You know, dinking and dunking, it's like essentially like ground and pound in MMA. It's effective if somebody can't get out of it, if they can't stop you, if you're controlling the clock. A lot of these things can frustrate people too, based on the situation. This early in the game, probably not, but in the third and fourth quarter, when second half rolls around, dinking and dunking like this and taking up a lot of time, and you know, just making your opponent feel the pressure, the squeeze of not having the ball and the clock working against them a lot of times is really effective. Like I said, frustration is huge, but it can come in many different forms. You kind of just have to know when. You have to be aware of when you're frustrating your opponent. Success is really frustrating your opponent. Tricking your opponent, like right here, I'm going to trick him with this fake motion, and I guarantee you that pissed him off, because he probably thought he had me hemmed in after he stuffed me with that first play. Then to trick him and make a stick skill move like this and get into the end zone, I'm sure that messed with his confidence and messed with his head. And that'll pay dividends on the next series, because he might, you know, force things. He might try to make big plays that aren't there. Oops. It worked out there for him, but now that I know, based off of the big chunk play that he took, that's his mindset. He's going to start trying to go deep on these plays to try to catch up quick, even though the game's by no means out of reach. I can see where his head's at. So I know where I have to defend. I have to defend deep, and I got to get pressure. So you can see right here, once again.
Oh, you almost had it.
That's another play. Didn't go his way. Probably frustrated him into trying to, you know, go back to it, thinking he almost had it. Here I can see I'm going to get a little bit more pressure. You know what I'm saying? This is going to work out for me. He throws the ball away. That's a heady move, though. So I got to be aware that he might be getting his wits back and start making smarter plays. So I have to cover some of these underneath routes. As you can see, I do for a little bit, and then sure enough, he chucks it up. With 3 minutes and 17 seconds, there's really no reason for that. You know what I mean? He's about 20 yards from kicking a field goal, only up a touchdown. There's so many different ways to look at it than the way that he was looking at it, which was most likely, I got to score, I got to score, I got to score, which I don't, and an amount of time that didn't necessarily make sense. So here we go. He's running a lot of cover threes. I'm going to come over in my cover 3 beater. It doesn't look like I really catch him in that cover 3, but this play works pretty well even against cover 2. I mean, there's, a possibility of it. I'm shooting for big chunk yards. Actually, it was a cover 2. It didn't really look like it. I'm shooting for big chunk yards, which probably wasn't even necessary, but it's to the point when I realize the guy's getting frustrated that if you put your foot on their throat and turn up the gas, a lot of times you get them to quit that much quicker. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more tip videos or more gameplay videos like this, do me a favor with the like button. I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.